Many players choose d4 because it can lead to reliable openings. Black challenges white's presence in the center while controlling the e4 and c4 squares. The queen's gambit is a fun, dynamic opening good for players of all levels. Black supports the d5 pawn, maintaining a strong central presence. Knight c3 puts more pressure on the d5 square and helps control the e4 square. Knight f6 defends the d5 pawn and controls the e4 square. Bishop g5 develops the bishop and pins the knight on f6. The knight cannot move without losing the queen. Knight bd7 develops the knight toward the center and defends the knight on f6. e3 supports the d4 pawn and allows the light-squared bishop to develop. c6 supports the d5 pawn and allows the queen to develop on the queen side. Knight f3 develops the knight toward the center, defends the pawn on d4, and controls the e5 square. Queen a5 develops the queen, pins the knight, and adds a defender to the d5 pawn. Knight d2 breaks the pin on the c3 knight, controls the e4 square, and adds another defender to the c4 pawn. Out comes the bishop and into the battle. This protects an underdefended knight that is under attack. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This is the only good move. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is an equal trade. Recaptures from a previous move. The clearly correct move for a threatened queen. This kicks a bishop. The correct move to safety. White develops further. Castling gets the king out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Both kings are castled and ready for the middle game. This connects the rooks, which helps them work together. This is the strongest option. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. That's fine. With the rook now developed as well, black has all pieces ready for action. White's pieces move to a square with greater activity and control. A very strong play. With the rook now developed as well, white has all pieces ready for action. This is a fair move. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. This offers an equal trade of pieces. A solid choice. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This mobilizes the knight, allowing it to control more of the board. This threatens to win material through a tactic. Right on target. One of the best moves. This is not the right idea. This is an equal trade. A clear recapture. The best option was to strike at the center with a pawn. This allows the opponent to activate a bishop. The bishop is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. The clearly correct move for a threatened bishop. The better move was to activate a bishop. Advancing the pawns in front of the king can compromise the king's safety. There was only one good move there. This avoids clear danger. This is the only good move. This creates a pawn chain, linked pawns that form a strong structure. The knight is kicked by a pawn and must now move or be captured. This threatens to eventually win material. This threatens to win a knight through a fork. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. This threatens to win a queen through a fork. This prevents the opponent from being able to win a queen through a fork. This is the only move that works. After all captures, this is an equal trade. Takes back. The correct move to safety. This blocks an attack on a pawn. This is the only good move. This is an equal trade. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A clear recapture. Black's bishop has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. This threatens to capture a bishop and win material after the follow-up trades. This prevents the opponent from being able to tactically win a bishop. This passed pawn is a strong asset for black. That's fine. This is a fair move. The best option was to capture a bishop that was threatening to win material. After all captures, this is an equal trade. A straightforward recapture. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This steps away from the checking queen. That's fine. This misses a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. The clearly correct move for a threatened queen. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. This is a fair move. That's not a mistake, but it's not the best move either. This leaves a pawn without defenders. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. Now white can't stop black from winning a pawn if they make the right moves. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This defends the attacked pawn. This is the only good move. This defends a pawn that was under attack and had no defenders. This will win a pawn with correct play. The better move was to move a rook to safety. This threatens to eventually win material. Very precise. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the queen. Right on target. This was the only move. Very precise. This steps away from the checking queen. The correct move to safety. This defends the attacked pawn. The best option was to threaten checkmate. This was the only move. This is the strongest option. This evades the check from the queen. That's fine. This was the only move. The best option was to defend a pawn that was under attack. Black was better off, but now their position is winning. This is the only good move. This move puts the queen on a safer square. This steps away from the checking queen. This threatens to checkmate the king. This stops the opponent from being able to checkmate the king. Black lost their winning advantage, and now the game is close to equal. This evades the check from the queen. This defends the attacked pawn. The best option was to set up a blockade. There were worse moves, but also something much better. This allows the opponent to eventually win a queen. Now white can't stop black from winning a queen if they make the right moves. The better move was to push a passed pawn. This offers to exchange pieces of equal value. A very strong play. A clear recapture. This avoids clear danger. This threatens to force eventual checkmate. This allows the opponent to force eventual checkmate. This forces an eventual checkmate. This was the only move. This continues the checkmate threat. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. And the game is over.